All right, good morning, guys. I have a wonderful little book that I want to show you today. This is published by Simonds, the Simonds Guide for Carpenters. It is a wonderful book, wonderful piece of tool and particularly saw history by one of the great companies that made saws in America. Simonds is right up there with Diston and Fulton and Keen Cutter and all of those old, very venerated, capable saw manufacturers. And they published this book for people who build houses. And back in the day, carpenter, I think, was a much broader term than it is today. It has references for really all aspects of construction, from mixtures for topping on concrete, plaster. It has finishing formulas for Japanning and varnish and all kinds of stuff in here. I'm excited to show this book to you. It's Ask Your Hardware Dealer for Simonds, pronounced Simonds. And you know, when I look at that, that doesn't really tell me how to pronounce it. It could be Simonds, it could be Simonds. I don't know. I say Simonds, but if you told me it was Simonds, I wouldn't fight you. Have a slogan down here, a little rhyme. It takes but little time to file a Simonds saw to split the line. Other saws may do it too, but Simonds saws will do it true. They have a line is that which has length without breadth or thickness. You want that line to be straight and thin. Look at that, rafters in their cuts. And I mean, that's where the boys are separated from the men, because rafters and a roof like that, you know, at some point you really do have to know what you're doing. Anybody can build a 12-12 pitch roof. Everything's a 45-degree angle. Getting your lengths isn't too difficult, but once you get into your more complicated style roofs, this book would come in handy. They have, for instance, if you were going to build a, look at that, a 10-foot building. So that's going to be like a shed. They tell you your length of your common rafters, length of hip and valley rafters. Just get this book out, figure that information, and you're good to go. So we've got lots of rafters here. Long cuts and bevel cuts are all easy cuts with a Simonds saw. If you want to rest while the other fellows work, buy a Simonds saw. Excellent. They've got a saw vise there for filing. One thing that I did find interesting when I was reading this book is I'd never heard the advice to joint the saw slightly crowning in the center with an 8-inch flat file, and then file the teeth to a uniform size, but don't file them to a point. Okay, so that's just jointing. That's fascinating. I mean, absolutely fascinating. I had always jointed my saws straight across, but it makes perfect sense that you would want an ever so slight crown in the middle. So they have a full education. I'd never actually sat down and read something on how to sharpen and joint and care for a saw. So this was all an education for me. Wonderful. So you can check that out. If at any point you want to look at something, you just pause the video. That's kind of why I'm going through this here. Side dressing. So you do that basically if maybe your saw isn't quite cutting straight. Maybe it's favoring one side or the other. Look at that. All saws, when they leave the Simonds factory, have the proper hook. That is to say, the shape of the teeth is proper. The rip saw is nearly straight up and down the front of the teeth. The crosscut saw has the front of the teeth sloping well back from the root of the tooth to its point. Keep the teeth in that shape. Look at that. They have filing for miter and bevel cutting. Wow, so you've got everything here. Files to use. The best files to use are for all 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8-point saws, a 6-inch Simonds special handsaw file. Probably just a triangle. Don't slam your saw around and twist it and bend it all out of shape. It is made to saw straight. Yep, here we go. Stairs. Stairs are fun. Tell you what, 7-inch to 9-inch rise over run. Look at that here. Let's see. All right, they give you all of the the calculations to figure out your rise over run and your stairs, and so you sit down, you can read that. Your watch, but then it's filled with all this fascinating information, like your watch is a compass. Place in the palm of your hand, turn it till the hour hand points at the sun. Then the south is just halfway between the hour hand and 12 o'clock. Amazing. And then they have facts for builders. 1,000 shingles laid 4 inches to the weather will cover 100 square feet of surface, and 5 pounds of shingle nails will fasten them on. Show me a man who has never made a mistake, and I will show you one who has never tried anything. They've got chimneys, average number of pounds of nails per pound. Just amazing. All the measurements in America. I mean, we take all of our old measurements, mostly in building, from England, and we really added to it. If you ever wonder what a 16 penny nail is, that means that a pound of it, or whatever that measurement they would have used in old England, costs 16 pence. I think that's right. Look at that. Cement topping, concrete. For tanks and cisterns, the mixture should be 1 part Portland cement, 2 parts sand, 3 parts gravel or crushed stone. Look at that. For cellar floors, the mixture should be, cellar floors, cement topping, bricks to crush. Look at that. Brick piers and the weight they will carry in tons. All of this reference material. Safe load in tons that a 6-inch, 8-inch, and 12-inch steel I-beam will carry. I mean, wow, this is all engineering here. Hard pine beams and girders. Gas pipe posts. I don't know what a gas pipe post is. Oh, I know what that is. Okay, that's exactly what it sounds like. It's probably just steel. Wow, interesting. I never would have thought to use that as a post, but I guess it makes sense. Load in, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's it's a gas pipe. That's a post. Yellow pine will carry. Let's see. Let's look at an 8-inch I-beam 4x4. It'll carry. Oh, that's length in feet. Okay, so 4 tons, let's go 10. Let's compare it to the steel I-beam. 10-foot 4x4 will carry 3 tons. And I guess they don't have 10 over. Oh, okay. 6-inch, but they don't have 4. Never mind. I guess it's hard to compare those two. Bins and boxes for grain. Look at that. Bins and boxes for apples and potatoes. Bins for coal. The painter's department. This is what I thought was so fascinating, but I thought you guys might like. Look at that. Walnut stain for wood. Water, 1 gallon. Van Dyke brown, 10 ounces. Bertramate of potash, 1 ounce. Washing soda. You boil it, and then you immerse the article, or apply with a brush as desired. To ebonize wood, mix lamp black with good French polish, and apply in the usual way. The lamp black may be collected on a piece of tin held over a kerosene lamp or lighted candle. How to gild small steel tools. Some ethereal solution of gold into a glass dish and dip it in a blade of the tool or a new penknife, razor, lancet, etc. Amazing. Gold bronze for furniture. We've got hard drying putty. This gets pretty interesting here. Oh, here we go. Here's some good advice for if you want to pick out a color palette for your house. So you'd find a pansy with colors that suit your taste. Use the dominant color in the flower for the sidings, the next prominent color for the corner boards, cornice, etc., and the high color tints for the panels, brackets, ornamental shingles, carvings, etc. Look at that. Amazing. So you look to nature and then pick out your colors based on that. Facts for painters. So this would be good for estimation, things like that. A gallon of tar and a pound of pitch covers 12 square yards the first coat. Fascinating. All right. The number of feet board measure. Look at that. Wow. This would be very relevant to a 1920s carpenter, figuring all this out, figuring out what you need. It wouldn't be trivial to just order more stuff. So I guess you'd want to get it right. Weights and measures, a troy weight, an apothecary's weight. Avoirdupois weight? I have no idea what that is. Avoirdupois, that's French, I guess. 25 pounds equals 1/4. 16 drams is an ounce. Oh my goodness. They were just better at math than we were. Look at that. Liquid measures. 4 gills is a pint. I don't know. This all sounds like Harry Potter. 4 gills is a pint. Cloth measures. 2 2¼ inches equals 1 nail. Well, I mean, that I guess could be your thumb, but my thumb's not 2¼ inches. Interesting. Cubic measures. That's sort of familiar. A dull man bores you. A sharp man skins you. If you want your business done, go. If not, send. Look at that. Good nature is good business. Amazing. The man who holds his temper also holds the trump card. Look at that. Look, here's what I think. Here's what I thought so fascinating. Did it ever occur to you that if your boss pays you 50 cents per hour and you earn only 52 cents for him, 2 cents more per hour than he pays you, that you are not a very good man for him to keep? You have got to earn for him at least 10 cents per hour, and the more you earn for him, the better for you. And the main tool that you use, and it must be good, is your saw. A sheet iron saw will not increase your pay. The man who owns a full set of high-grade Simonds hand and rip saws wins the confidence of the boss because he knows how to appreciate good tools. Medical hints. Look at that. Tincture of opium. Oh my goodness. 1/2 ounce tincture of camphor, 1/2 ounce chloroform, 1/2 ounce arnica, 3 ounces of glycerin. Wow, okay. Wow, so that's some pretty heavy stuff. What would you use that for? Oh, it says a good liniment for old sores, sprains, or bruises. Get out the opium, I guess. In case of a sprain, bathe the injured part in as hot water as you can till the swelling is considerably or wholly reduced. Drowning, so this is all first aid stuff, rupture or break of the body. Wow, try and push it back with flat hand. Keep man on his back. Wow. That sounds pretty brutal. Broken rib, broken collarbone, dog bites, flesh wounds, just to scratch. Insensibility from blows or wounds to the head. I mean, wow. Insensibility from being buried in falls of earth or breathing foul gas. Wow, amazing. Useful suggestions in cases of accident to mechanics. Amazing. All right, if you do not own a Simonds saw, you cannot say you have the best saw made. The Simonds hand saws are guaranteed in temper, quality of steel, and workmanship throughout, to be as perfect goods as human skill, best material, and a knowledge of manipulating steel dating back to 1832 can produce. Amazing. Oh, here we go. Here we're talking about the handles. They use applewood, selected applewood. Incredible. Uncle Si says, see, and that's why I think it's Simonds too, because it wouldn't be Uncle Si, Uncle Si, Simonds. Saws are a lot like folks. Some are too cranky to have around, while others are always good-natured and willing and never get tight or balk when half through a job. When I said last suits a Simonds saw to a T. What I said last suits a Simonds saw to a T. Okay, that was kind of hard to read. You will be glad when you get one working for you. It's got as many good points as a porcupine. I got the blue ribbon straight back. 371. The 372, this is the skew back. The difference between a straight back and a skew back is, the back is straight and the back kind of tapers. So you get a, and I honestly don't know what the big difference between a skew and a straight back is. I guess a skew would be lighter, maybe thinner too. Maybe they tell me in here. Wow, blue ribbon, full width, straight back saw. You know, talking about the tapered saw, that's a very important feature in a saw. Look at that. Skew back saw, blue ribbon, 62. Look at that carving. That carving was all done by hand to start. And then later on they used kind of a hand rotary tool. Now here's Uncle Si's guarantee. You're the man that's got to be satisfied. Incredible. Medium width, straight back, the number 10. Warranted special crucible steel. Simonds patented temper. Oh, this has a polished beech handle. So, you know, apple wood would have been the preferred. Apple wood was very important in colonial times too. Most of the oh, I'm trying to remember. A lot of farm equipment was made out of apple wood. Well, I got some birds kind of squawking over there. All right, nest of saws for plumbers. Full width skew back saw, 10.5. Look at that. Simonds blades do not break. A docking saw. Now look at the crown on that saw. A fast rough work cutter. Elevator or scale building work. On big cutting, it will cut 3 times as fast as any handsaw. That would be something to use. I'd love to see one of those. Metal handle. Very, very heavy duty. Look at that. And then we got a reference on the back. So I hope this was interesting. This is a wonderful book. It's very, very durable too. This will be around for another 100 years. I'm going to keep it safe. So here you go. Peak saw technology in 1924. Thanks for watching.